Yay, show number 3. Hey, you gorgeous. How are you doing? Here I am, 3 minutes over. Well, I was nearly there, but I decided to make myself a cheeky cup of coffee. I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can turn it this way and give you a sneak peek. It's snowing. I don't know if you can see that through the window, but we have tons of snow here in England. It is awesome. Very nice. We haven't had snow in Brighton for years, so it is a nice sight to see. Okay, so we are going to get focused in today on how to boost trust, credibility, and increase your social sales. And what I should have said, oh, I have said it, that's good. It suddenly dawned on me that I am specifically talking about Facebook Lives here, how to increase your social sales on Facebook. This isn't talking about the other social platforms that you can use. Yes, it is a great winter spell. We're all getting snowed in. Makes no difference for me because I work from home anyway. Hey, you gorgeous. Yep, absolutely. Right, let me get my slides up so I know exactly what it is I'm covering today, so I can give you the awesome content that I promised I would deliver on. Okay, dokie. So let's get started. I've tagged people in, so hopefully people will join me as we go along. Sorry, I'm aware that my eyes are flipping all over the place, so I might look a bit crazed. Well, if the truth be known, those who work with me know I can be a bit crazed. Brilliant. Okay, so it is our third show for 1,000 Women, and this is a community of female entrepreneurs who are learning to use, or who are currently using, speaking online to grow their business. And I wanted to focus this session on how to boost trust, credibility, and sales using Facebook Lives to make an impact. But firstly, let's go through some housekeeping. I have a very different way of delivering content online to most people. I use my notes, and unfortunately what that means is that sometimes I'm not always looking at you through the lens of the camera. I'm not ignoring you, I'm not ignoring your comments, it's just I'm a gifted dyslexic and I have to go through my notes to be able to deliver content in the style that I like to deliver it, so it means that you get value. What I will do today though is I have set this up in such a way that I'm going to drop some notes into the comment box so you can follow some processes and you can do some work in your own time once I have finished this live. So I will pull out of the slides and I will come in and have a conversation and answer any questions that you have. So, take a second to introduce yourself. There are some new awesome women in the community, and I know you haven't had the opportunity to connect. So just take a second now to drop into the chat box what it is you do and who it is you work with. So your little mini intro, quickly get it typed out and pop it in the box, because you never know, there might be somebody in this community who could be an awesome connection for you in terms of collaboration, or could even be an awesome client. But unless you tell us what it is that you do, you're not going to make that connection. Please also, if when I'm talking there are any aha moments that come up, or you go away and you listen to the MP3 and you think, right, yeah, I get it now, I get it. Because I have that. I have moments when I go away and I'm like, I get it. Please do come back and share your aha moments, because the way you learn is different to the way I learn, and then that might help somebody else within the community actually get their own aha moment. So it's another awesome way to connect, but it's also great because it enhances other women in the community. It gives them the opportunity to look at a different perspective and also set that in context for the way they think. Because I have a particular style of delivery which isn't going to resonate with everybody, and they're not going to pick it up necessarily from me. So a big thank you. I'm also a coffee and tea drinker, so it might be a bit off-putting for some people, but you will see me take a sip of my drink. I am at home, and you know, working from home brings the luxury of doing things how you want to do them. Yeah, so if you're watching the replay, just drop in for me that in the comments box that you're watching the replay. It's useful for me to track and get an idea of what content it is that you are interested in. A number of you who are new to the community this week don't know me, so this is my opportunity for me to say to you who it is I am and who it is that I work with. And hopefully as I'm talking, you will be able to put into the chat box who you are and who it is you work with. I'm Wendy Kier. I coach committed female entrepreneurs who are established in the marketplace, have a message that makes a difference, and want to take their business online. I coach them to confidently step into their spotlight, share their visibility, and create more clients in a way that is simple, fun, and feminine. So today we are going to take a look at some insights and some strategies that you can use to help you nail your Facebook live streaming. So you can make a bigger impact and increase those social sales, which is what I promised you. Oh, I think I had a bit of a twang in my accent then. Yeah, so I speak to lots and lots of female entrepreneurs who are pedaling painfully fast but aren't where they want to be. In fact, they're not even generating any sales from any of the online marketing it is that they are doing. Now, if that's happening for you, don't worry about it, because you're in the perfect place. I'm going to talk you through a process that you can use moving forward where you can generate more social sales for your business. Now, I created this community for female entrepreneurs who want to learn how to use speaking online to grow their business. But before we get started today, I want you to take a second to calculate how much money you are investing on your online marketing for your business over the year. Now, that might sound a little bit complicated, but actually it's not. I'm going to run you through a formula that you can use to calculate how much money it's costing you to market your business online. So here's what you need to do. I'm going to run through the formula, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out and I'm just going to drop the formula into the comments box so you can follow it either now or once I have finished the live. But what you need to do is you need to think about everything that you do online, your social media, your social media marketing, your blog posts, your tweets, your Facebook posts, your LinkedIn management, your Facebook lives, going back into answer questions. Have a list of everything it is that you do online that is in your mind geared towards helping you be visible and gain new business. And the list can be pretty endless, right? It just goes on and on. These days, I seem to spend most of my time in Facebook, but I got a sharp reminder this morning from someone who is on my email list saying, and I know this to be true, so I need to give myself a bit of a reality check myself, but They said to me that I don't use Facebook. Can you send me the MP3? Now, I know that a quarter of my people don't use Facebook. So it gave me a bit of a wake-up call when I was planning for this session that I need to go and spend more time in other platforms. But we're talking about Facebook today. So step 1, make a note of how much you charge per hour. £75, 50 quid, £150. How much do you charge per hour? Step 2, calculate how much time you are spending a week to bring your online social media marketing together and posting it. So you've created it and then you're taking the time to share it online. So this needs to include things like graphics, content management. So if you're writing an article, how long does that take you to write? How long does it take you to upload it and post it? How long does it take for you to get it approved? How long does it take you to go into groups and answer questions and give feedback? So you'll have an extensive list of all the things that you do online for you to generate, for you to be socially visible and to generate those sales. Step 3, make a note of how much it costs a month to have support. So, you know, some people will be doing this all themselves, and then some people will have a VA, a virtual assistant, someone to help them manage their social media. But if you have someone to help you manage your social media, please include the time it takes to give them the content to help them manage your social media, because they should not be doing it all by themselves and pulling stuff out of thin air. You should be guiding them and giving them content that they can use. Then what you want to do is add up how much that is costing you a month. You ready? So, you know, let's just say, for example, that you spend 2 hours a week online doing all of these activities to keep you visible. So, you know, if you charge 150 quid an hour, that's £300 a week. Then I hope I've done my maths right. My dyslexic brain does not allow me to do maths, but I'm pretty sure this is right. So if you calculate that, I calculated it actually by the weeks of the year, so I can see my maths is already off. That breaks down into £16,200 a year to be socially active. Right, okay, so what I want to do is copy and paste the process for you. In here, I'm going to put it in the chat box. Oh, it's come up a bit. Oh no, it's okay actually. Brilliant. What I've done is I've copied the process into the chat box. So I know it's an awful lot to go through, so I've got to stop saying so. I've noticed that I use so an awful lot as filler words. Naughty. So right when I use Canva, when I go back, I can take them all out. Professional speakers would be counting my so's and ums right now. That's the formula to run through to calculate how much money you are investing in your social media and online marketing activities. Now, I appreciate that it is not money that you may be necessarily taking out of your pocket, but that is the cost to your business. Because let's face it, you could be having enrollment conversations with all of that time that you are investing into your online marketing, which would bring you in an income. But what happens is we tend to get stuck into this whole illusion of having to be socially visible to generate sales. And we sort of think that we should be all over the place doing lots of different things when it isn't necessarily true. So ask yourself, you know, now you've got this figure, ask yourself, how many social sales have you made during the year? And it will become very clear clear very quickly whether you're going to be running at a profit or a loss. Now, without going into too much detail, just pop into the comments box, profit or loss. Or if you don't feel too comfortable in doing that, just ping me a direct message. Because it's important here for all of us to get into the reality of what it is we are doing in our business to generate social sales. And this gives us a very clear insight whether it's working for us or not. So I'm just going to come out of my slides. If you have just joined the live show, I need to let you know, if you're putting comments in the comments box, I'm not ignoring you. It's just because I'm reading from slides, so I have a tendency to flip backwards and forwards. Loss, yeah, you're not the only one. It is very, very common. And you know what? The figure I've actually given you of 16,000 is low. When you calculate the true cost in your business, it'll generally tend to be much higher than that. I used it because it was very easy to calculate. But thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. And other women in the community will be running at a loss as well. So, you know, you're not alone, and I appreciate you being honest. Yeah. Lost hours, mucho loss. Mucho loss. I love that. Not that much longer. Kept doing that impact course. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, as I said, I've got to go back to the slides, otherwise I will completely lose track in terms of where I am and what I'm doing. It's really important to get into the reality of what's happening with your online marketing. And I really hope that little exercise has helped you really think about how you're going to move forward from this point, to make the decision to do things slightly differently in your business so you can get more focused in on generating those social sales. So most of the women I speak to are spending a considerable amount of money on marketing their business online, but they are not generating any sales. And I know that sounds familiar for you. So let's have a look at how you can be successful online with your social sales moving forward. I believe to be successful online these days in 2018 and moving forward, you're going to need to have a live show. You're going to need to show up live, basically, to generate social sales. You're no longer going to be able to sophisticatedly hide behind written content, images, or social media posts. Your audience these days absolutely wants you. They want to be able to connect with you as the face of your business. And I truly believe that women now need to step up and lead from the front rather than sophisticatedly hiding. I posted something the other day. Let's see if I can remember what it was. It was the difference between a follower and a leader. And the truth behind it was that followers will tell you what they think it is you want to hear. Leaders will tell you what you need to hear. And I think that is a beautiful, I don't know what the word is. I don't know what the word is or how to even express it, but that's what we need to step into as female leaders, as leaders of our own communities, of women who have stepped up and who are out there. We need to move away from following and we need to lead, very clearly lead. So when you actually get into really truly nailing your Facebook lives and showing up, it can become tremendous fun, easy, and profitable. Believe it or not, it can be. You may be doing lives at the moment and they're not working, but I would say that's because your message is off. Your message isn't hitting the right market. If your message isn't hitting the right market, then your content is also going to be out as well. It's one of the reasons why I created and helped my clients to create a signature program is the content comes from the inside out. So you're not constantly looking for content ideas. The content is very clearly mapped out and the message is on point. So I want to talk about 3 different types of Facebook Lives. And I want to talk about the one that is actually going to generate the sales for you, the one that is going to generate the social sales. So there are 3 different types of Facebook Lives that people use streaming that you ultimately need to be aware of, but there's only really one that you should be getting focused in on for social sales. So firstly, we have the lives where women come on and they give a little bit of insight into their world. Really good for keeping the connection, but no good for sales. Sorry, ladies. Secondly, we have a Facebook Live, which is for a longer period of time and is focused on education, knowledge, insight, and has a specific call to action. The third live and is underused in, underused in my view, is that you can use Facebook Lives to directly go back in and give feedback to a member of your community. It's really nice because it creates a personal, a much more personal response, better personal engagement with that individual, but it's very underused. People are still in the habit of writing copious amounts of copy. I would say if you're doing that, stop it and move into actually going back and doing a live video for them. So I've got a question. I have a question. And my question is, which type of live do you think, oh, I've got to come out of my slides. Which type of live do you think is the one that is going to generate a higher proportion of social sales? Actually is the main one that is going to generate social sales. So there are 3 options. Option 1 is, where are my slides gone? The first one was about, going in and providing insight. There's little golden nuggets of information that you'll see women leak do as Facebook Lives. The second was around education and knowledge with a clear call to action. And the third one, which is underused, is about using live videos to go in and give a person a specific call to, no, not a call to action, to go back in and answer a specific question. So if someone asked me a question in the group, I would then go back in with a live video and answer the question rather than typing out copious amounts of copy. So which one do you think? Just drop it in the comments box so I can get an idea of where people are at. Which one is going to generate the most social sales? Insight, regular insight, a live regular insight. So 1, 2 or 3. 1 is insight, 2 is education and knowledge with call to action, and the third one is, going in and answering questions. Just pop it in the comments box for me and I will take a look. Number 3. So number 3 was going back in and giving feedback. Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else? Just drop it in there. I'll have a look later and pick it up. Thanks, lovely, for doing that. Okay. So what I've noticed is that way too many female entrepreneurs are focusing on providing insight. So the little golden nuggets of information they will go in and happily share. But the problem is, these lives are often unfocused, a bit random, no clear message, no call to action, and have no sales process running through them. They're often much more about the individual and the speaker rather than the audience and giving value. So there's a bit of a mismatch in terms of going in and giving insight. They are short and don't provide an opportunity to create an impact for the listener. Brilliant for keeping a connection, and you can use them as a combination, but they're not going to help you make sales because they're just too random. If you want to boost trust, credibility, and make more sales using Facebook Lives, then you have to make a commitment to show up consistently and be focusing on providing education, knowledge, insight with a clear call to action, which is basically what I am doing now. Weekly live shows are perfect because your audience gets used to you showing up at a specific time on a specific date. Members of my community know that I show up live, that I will engage with them, that they can ask me questions. I've got their back. I'm here for them at a specific time every week, talking around a topic that is going to help them make an impact in their business. And you want to be known for that level of consistency. Yeah, so they also get used to the great value, the knowledge you share with them, which is going to have an impact on their business and their personal life. You build trust and credibility much more quickly. So I thought what I would do is just run through some steps in terms of how you can set up your live show. So, you know, lots of people say step one is you need to pick a date and time, and lots of people say, what's the best time and date? You know what, until you get going, just pick a time and date that works for you, that you know that you can show up consistently for. I must admit, I'm always like 2 or 3 minutes late. It seems to be, I was always one of those people that was really early to events, and now, I don't know, I'm always a couple of minutes late. And this is important because it lets your audience know what time you're going to be on and what date you're going to be on. So step one, pick a time and day and keep it consistent. Don't move from it. 2, you want to plan. I've gone a bit over in terms of content today. You want to plan content for no more than 20 minutes. Otherwise, it's too much of a burden for you. And your listeners will tune out because it's too content heavy. So you want to leave room for questions and answers, and remember that your audience's time is valuable. You cannot expect them to hang around for hours at a time where you talk. A lot of this sometimes is talking while you're delivering a message because it's not so two-way. You're talking at them. Sorry, them, my community. I don't quite mean it that way. But I'm sure you get what I mean. You want to make sure that you provide snappy information and content that people can take away and action rather than babbling on for hours at a time and expecting your audience to still be there. Step 3, you want to have a clear introduction that allows your audience to identify who the show is for, what's their biggest challenge, and how you can help them solve it. Don't worry, I'm going to put this in the chat box in a second. So that's your introduction. You want to set the scene and set the context for your audience so they know what the show is about, that they are in the right place, so they're going to stay watching. Step 4, you absolutely don't hold back with this. You absolutely need to deliver premium, awesome content that they can put into action and makes an impact in their life and their business. Because remember, you want to build trust and credibility. And step 5, you always want to give a call to action. And this way, Firstly, you ensure that your content is clear, it gives value, it helps you create an impact, it builds trust and credibility, so you become the go-to expert. So they know your show is on. If they can't make it, you can give them the replay and they can watch it in their own time. You can also strip out an MP3 as well, so people can listen to it on the go, and you can repurpose the content all over the place. And secondly, you have a clear social sales process integrated into the live shows that you're hosting weekly. And remember, the trick here is that you want to be increasing trust and engagement, because with the engagement becomes the opportunity to grab a conversation with somebody. You know, it's, you know, people liking posts, and this is a much quicker route to getting you social sales, because you can continue the conversation. So what I want to do is I just want to pop that, oh, I didn't write it out, you know, creating a live show. Let me just put these show notes in. So, I'm not sure they're going in properly, actually. I'm going to run through the comments in a second so I can do it, you know, in flow. Otherwise, I'll be jumping backwards and forwards and I won't be able to cover the next step in terms of what it is I want to cover. Okay, so if you want some help in crafting a call to action, your intro, and where you can find the content for doing your lives, from the challenge last month, I created, as part of the challenge, I created 3 videos that you can use to go and have a look at. And I think I just noticed, Sarah, honey, you just made a comment about, you know, can I give ideas of call to actions? Have a watch of that video, which is video, oh, I can't see from that part. Video, it's on day 7. Go back and watch that, and that will give you some clear ideas of how you can use a call to action in a video, because I've given you quite a lot of content here to digest, and I already have those videos created. So within there you have how to craft an intro, how to find your content, and also how to craft a call to action. So here is an example of a call to action, and this is the one that I use consistently from these shows. Now, I've gone through an awful lot of content with you, and I know that there will be awesome women in my community that still aren't sure about Facebook Lives and how they can increase their social sales using them, because it is quite a big topic. So what I've done is I've created a special hour-long 1,000 women complimentary business breakthrough call, and it's really designed to help you reach more people, have a bigger impact, and elevate your income in 90 days or less. How does that sound? So go ahead now and grab yourself a 1,000 women strategy call. We are moving into, where are we now? January, February. We're moving into March, so I reset the clock each month. So there are just 5 places left this month for awesome women to grab those calls. They generally tend to fill up pretty quickly. So this is an example of a call to action, how you can craft and position a call to action after you have ran through your show. You could actually position this a little bit earlier rather than having it at the end. So you could position it at a quarter of a way in rather than having it at the end. Today, I have just placed it at the end of the show. Let me run through the comments. Let's have a look. Hopefully they're going to come up properly. So bear with me a second while I run through everything to make sure I am not missing any questions. Oh God, look, it's terrible. I think I need glasses. No, Facebook is a bit small, isn't it? Okay. Won't let me scroll down properly. I wonder if there's another way that I can do it. Hang on there. Gorgeous. Let's see if I can find another way of scrolling through the comments. I'm going to be running a webinar this week. Right, my live's not showing up on my page. Let's see if I can do it here. Yeah, lots of hours. Brilliant. What you do. Number 3, number 2. Sarah, have a look at that video regarding the call to action, because I think that would be useful for you to take a look at, because I talk more about it in that video. Okay, I think I've covered everything. So many questions that will come later. Yeah, no problem. Just come back in, tag them underneath the video. That would be absolutely awesome. I hope you have enjoyed the show today, and it's helped you think about, you know, the online marketing in a different way. But firstly, you have to get into the reality of your situation and what it is you are doing with your online marketing, because otherwise you just end up doing the same thing and you're never going to generate any sales. But showing up live is definitely the way to go. The quicker you can build trust, build your credibility, show up consistently, give absolutely awesome content that people can genuinely use rather than information that they can't use, you will be able to move people into conversations much more quickly. Brilliant. Oh, got a client a second. Video day 7. Okay, I will, Sarah, I'll post it below this video when I come off in a second. All right then, lovelies, whatever you're doing. Oh, it stopped snowing. Have an absolutely awesome day. You know where I am. Come into the community. Don't forget, this is an open space for you to come in and for you to practice your lives. I know it is an open group, but that shouldn't stop you from coming in and taking the time to introduce yourself, because that's what you would be doing in your business anyway, let's face it. So let's start stepping up now and doing the lives into the groups, because the other women in the community, trust me, they will support you. It's a very nurturing community. I am, if you're not ready to do Facebook Lives, going to be hosting a Facebook Live challenge the first week of March. I'm going to be running it again. So that will give people the opportunity to hone their skills. But I'm going now. Bye, beautifuls.